doing? How are you? It's the morning. It's the morning when I'm recording this. Welcome to the Valenti Vod. MAGA is abandoning Trump in troves. Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, Insurrection Barbie, that dumb bitch. All these people, if you don't know who some of those people are, I'm so fucking jealous of you. They're abandoning Trump in troves because of this whole Qatari or Qatari, whatever, Qatar jet that he's getting. And we're going to watch them. We're going to watch. Now, the funny part is like Ben Shapiro jumped ship on Trump on like day one. Motherfucker helped him get elected and then got his bag. Was like, I'm out of here. But the rest of these fucking people, no, these are Trump loyalists and sycophants who, despite the fact that they don't like what he's doing and they understand that it's unconstitutional and very much so illegal, despite all of that, they are always going to support him because these are Trump cultists. So we're going to dive into this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps me immensely. And real quick, guys, remember, this is real independent media. I have no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a government or a billionaire. So if you do want to help support this channel, help me get a new laptop, help me pay my rent, whatever, all you got to do is become a patron on Patreon for $5. You'll get access to the Patreon show. Massive shout out to all my patrons. You can become a member here on YouTube for $5, which will give you access to these Luigi and Bean stickers that you're seeing people use in the chat. And it's going to let you see the videos early. And then also you could buy some Valenti Videos merch down below. And you can use that 40% off discount for Ground News Vantage subscription, which is in the description down below. Yeah, massive shout out to everybody who helps donate to the channel. You know, you keep me alive. Anyway, let's dive right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch a little bit of, this is 6 minutes, so we're probably not going to watch the whole thing, but we're going to listen to Ben Shapiro, all right? I can't believe we're saying that. We're going to listen to Ben fucking Shapiro. Benjamin Shapiro.
People who support Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Al Jazeera, all the rest. That's not America first. Like,
he's talking about Qatar here because, as we've talked about on the show before, Qatar or Qatar has been funding Hamas, and the thing is, your opinion on whether Hamas is a terrorist organization or a liberation force or whatever the fuck you want to call them isn't really relevant here. What's relevant is that the U.S. State Department is directly aligned with Israel, and the United States State Department recognizes Hamas as a terrorist organization. And if you know that Qatar is funding a terrorist organization, how are you going to let that nation gift you a plane? But let's watch.
Taking sacks of goodies from people who support Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Al Jazeera, all the rest. That's not America first. Like, please define America first in a way that says you should take sacks of cash from the Qatari royals who are behind Al Jazeera. It just isn't America
I love how
first.
He says who are behind Al Jazeera when he could have said Hamas. Al Jazeera is like a fucking news organization. Al Jazeera is one of the most recognized, one of the best news organizations on the planet. And his problem with Qatar is that they work with Al Jazeera, not that they fund fucking terrorist organizations.
Conceivable way. So, back to the original question. Is this good for President Trump? Is it good for his agenda? Is it good for draining the swamp and getting things done? The answer is no, it isn't. It isn't. If you want President Trump to succeed, this kind of skeezy stuff needs to stop. And here's the thing.
You hear that, MAGA? If there's any hate-watching, brain-dead MAGA chuds, even your own intellectual giant Ben Shapiro thinks this is fucking stupid. And now I understand the Fuhrer himself didn't say it's bad, therefore it can't be bad. You know, I get it.
It's already having an impact. It's already having an impact. Quick example. Last week, the Senate considered a procedural vote on the so-called Genius Act. This is an act that should have had wide bipartisan support. The Genius Act helps deregulate the crypto industry, an area that's vital for America's economic development. As you all know, I'm a big fan of crypto. I own Bitcoin, some Ethereum. If you want to watch me explain why crypto is fascinating and useful, check out my YouTube video on the subject. And I know a ton of people in the crypto industry who've been ecstatic about President Trump's deregulatory approach to the subject, which is awesome. But the bill was shot down last week because, at least in part, Democrats said they wouldn't vote for the thing because of President Trump's use of crypto himself. You all remember?
Maybe because of Trump's fucking meme coin that he launched on like the day before Inauguration Day. Trump fucking profited $2 billion. The Trump organization profited like $50 billion. Who knows who the fucking whales, there's like 50 whales holding up the coin who are probably billionaires surrounding him, like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Peter Thiel. Like, He is the most corrupt man to ever step foot in the White House. This is not debatable.
President Trump launching $ Trump crypto 3 days before taking office as president.
Brother, Ben fucking Shapiro is saying the things that I've been saying for months. Where were you, Ben Shapiro? Were you, oh, I know, cradling the fucking nuts of the orange Mussolini? Were you throating the cock of Mango Hitler? Was that what you were fucking doing? Saying, you better go vote. You fucking asshole. You fucking piece of shit. This guy thinks that women's pussies aren't supposed to be dry. This guy says that if your wife has a wet pussy, you should take her to the doctor because something's wrong. That's your beacon of masculinity? You fucking losers.
Trump himself announced the Trump crypto on X and Truth Social. He described it as a meme coin, meaning it had no inherent value. It was just there for the kind of bleeps and giggles. The price spiked to a trading value of nearly...
Is that a joke? No, Ben Shapiro said that. He said that himself.
$13 billion, making it the 19th most valuable cryptocurrency on planet Earth. And then it proceeded to plummet, like really, really dive. The project allegedly netted people associated with it, meaning the Trump organizations associated with the Trump crypto, some $350 million. 80% of the outstanding supply of that meme coin is still held by insiders, presumably members of the Trump organization.
This is what I just fucking said to you. You can call me pre-watch Andy all the fuck you want. But I would never in a million fucking years pre-watch Benjamin Shabino. Okay? This is... How are your supporters, Ben Shapiro supporters, are they going to start parroting my talking points? Our talking points? The talking points of the left? That the Trump meme coin was a fucking rug pull on his most loyal followers? Like, what are we fucking doing?
Overall, according to data shared with CNBC, there were 2 million wallets that bought that Trump meme coin. 764,000 of them lost money. 58 wallets made more than $10 million. And then in April, that Trump meme coin announced that the top 220 holders of the meme coin would be invited to an intimate private dinner with President Trump at his golf club. The top 25 were invited to a VIP White House tour. According to Bloomberg News, 19 of the top 25 holders of that Trump meme coin that have registered on the website's leaderboard have bought the coins using foreign exchanges that claim to exclude U.S. customers, which means that
foreign exchanges. So the people who really are floating up the Trump coin are using foreign exchanges that exclude American users. So Trump is using foreign billionaires to prop up his crypto scheme. Make America great again, right? America first, right? Huh?
foreigners are buying a lot of the meme coin and then getting meetings with President Trump, like VIP White House tours and all the rest. This raises the question of influence peddling. If you basically buy a bunch of Trump meme coin and then funnel money to organizations associated with President Trump so that you can have dinner with Trump, that doesn't look great. Democratic senators, of course, immediately announced that they wanted an ethics probe. They sent a letter saying, quote, "This latest action raises grave ethics and legal concerns, including the severe risk that President Trump and other officials may be engaging in pay-to-play corruption by selling presidential access to individuals or entities."
They are, dude. Trump has been selling presidential access since he started running in 2015, bro. He's been doing these fucking dinners where you donate like $1 million. It started off where you donate $1 million to the campaign, you get a dinner. Then it was 5, then it was 10, and now it's up to the point where, what did he say? He said if you donate more than $5 billion, or you invest $5 billion into the United States, you won't have to pay taxes. What? Elon Musk is almost worth $1 trillion. That motherfucker could shell out $5 billion like nothing, and you're saying no taxes? No taxes? And then a chatter here says, why is that bad? Because the rich everyone needs to pay taxes, and the rich can afford to pay more in taxes, which would help boost up the infrastructure of this goddamn nation and create social programs for the most marginalized members of our communities. Why do you want to pay more in taxes when Elon Musk could pay? Elon Musk could literally pay $100 million in taxes one year, and it wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket. The guy's worth almost $600 billion, you know? So The thing is, it isn't just, oh my God, this guy just said the rich make jobs, brother. Oh my God. I can't, yeah, no, just keep on licking the fucking boot of the class who will never prioritize you. No, yeah, just keep on licking the boot of the class that has not raised the federal minimum wage since 2009. You just keep on licking the boot. You probably believe trickle-down economics works. I can't help you. All right, so guys, it's not just Ben Shapiro who is jumping ship on Trump. Even fucking Laura Loomer, Trump's favorite laminate face cunt, this bitch, right? She goes, I love President Trump. I would take a bullet for him. But I have to call a spade a spade. We cannot accept a $400 million gift from jihadists in suits. That's a crazy way to reference the entire nation of Qatar, but I understand her reference. The Qataris fund the same Iranian proxies in Hamas and Hezbollah who have murdered U.S. service members. The same proxies that have worked with the Mexican cartels to get jihadists across our border. This is really going to be such a stain on the admin if this is true. And I say that as someone who would take a bullet for Trump. I'm so disappointed. Dude, here's the thing, guys. The Trump regime and the Fuhrer himself, they know that accepting this $400 million bribe from Qatar is illegal, it's immoral, it's a terrible look. They know this, but they don't give a fuck. Why the fuck would they give a fuck when they've already violated a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court order? You don't think that's a bad look? You don't think that's illegal? Why would they give a fuck when Trump says, I don't know whether I have to uphold the Constitution? Or when Trump says they'll get a process, not due process? Or, I mean, dude, why is it surprising anybody that Donald Trump is willing to accept a bribe? Really? Really? On the list of shit he's done, this is what it does? My fucking God. Now, it ain't just Laura Loomer. Let's watch Rand Paul condemning this. Ready? Let me play it from the beginning here.
Different than a gimme putt. And the Constitution in Article 2 talks about the president can't take emoluments or gifts from foreign leaders. And so there is a provision in the Constitution that says you can't do this. And so the question is, can you do it if it's only for official purposes? If it came to someone in Congress, they can vote and the Ethics Committee can look at it. With his, there will have to be some kind of adjudication. This has never been done, and it's not like a ride on the plane. We're talking about the entire $400 million plane. I think it's not worth the appearance of impropriety. Whether it's improper or not, I don't think it's worth it. The other problem with Qatar is, see, I've spent time trying not to sell weapons to Qatar because they have human rights violations of their people. Many of their people are prevented from participating in the government, and some of the minority religious folks in
I just got a call, and the guy, he's Indian. He goes, hello. And I go, hello. And he goes, this is whatever. He goes, from U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. What? 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 Oh, this nation is going to hell in a motherfucking handbasket.
Qatar are treated poorly, and so I really haven't been a big fan, and I wonder if our ability to judge their human rights record would be clouded by the fact of this large gift. So
of course it will. Our ability to judge any nation with Trump as the president is going to be affected because Trump is the most easily bribed person who's ever stepped foot in the White House. Okay? I could bribe Trump. I could say, hey, Donnie, I'll give you $20 if you make it easier for Italians to get into fucking school. And he'll do it. For $20, he'll fucking do it. Okay, you got Rand Paul jumping ship on this motherfucker, and it's not just Rand Paul. Even Mark Levin. There are news reports that Qatar is buying us a jet. Who knows? But Qatar must stop buying our colleges and universities and spreading their anti-American, Jew-hating propaganda and funding terrorist groups and front groups. Their jet and all other things they are buying in our country does not provide them with the cover they seek. It is a terror state that is beyond dispute or their bank accounts. So, Here's the thing. The reason why I think this is a bad look is not the same reason why these people think it's a bad look. They think it's a bad look because they're super, super, super pro-Israel, and they will just tweak out about anything or anything anti-Israel. And then last but not least that I want to show you is Insurrection Barbie. If you don't know who this is, thank God. This is like a right-wing grifter. And just listen to this. Don't love the optics of getting a plane from Qatar because it gives a narrative to the lunatic left. That's us, guys. That's us. That's the lunatic left. 我们起请走你谁sang sang. So she goes, because it gives narrative to the lunatic left. Don't love Qatar or their funding of terrorism. That being said, the plane won't even be ready for 3 years, and President Trump will not be crafting Middle East policy based on a plane. This bitch is injecting copium straight into her veins. I don't love this, but that being said, it won't even be ready for 3 years. Dude, so the right's ideology right now is close your eyes, plug your ears, and go, and wait until the next thing happens so that we just forget and move on. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen because this new news cycle, you know, they flood the zone with as much information as they possibly can. All they want is for you to be distracted, right? Everyone and their mothers is throwing out every piece of disinformation at the wall to see what sticks from both sides to influence public opinion. I only listen to what POTUS says, and what he says is that Iran won't have a nuclear weapon and he will work toward peace. Toward peace in the Middle East. When I see him doing something contrary to that, I'll be the first one to call it out. Until then, stop letting the media on either side whip you into a frenzy. Consume information, process it calmly, and see what happens. I voted for President Trump because of what he did during his first term and what he promised to do this term. To date, he has not broken one promise. That's the funniest part of this entire fucking tweet. But don't worry, guys. We're going to get a little bit of information straight from the fucking horse's mouth. Trump weighs in on Qatar rift with Gulf neighbors, so it seems like Trump doesn't like Qatar. He called out, see this tweet from Trump where he says, during my recent trip to the Middle East, I stated that there can no longer be funding of radical ideology. Leaders pointed to Qatar. Look. Oh, wait a minute. That was in 2017. Oh, so wait, Trump has criticized Qatar and understands that Qatar has direct ties to terrorist organizations, and other leaders like Saudi Arabia, other nations in the Middle East have been saying that Qatar is a problem, and Trump knows this. It seems like maybe the reason why he's not so critical of them anymore is because they bought him. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if the man who is notorious for being a fucking rich asshole, maybe he was bribed. Oh, and don't worry, we'll hear Donald Trump's coverage. Why don't we hear it from the horse's mouth himself? Let's see what Donnie has to say about this whole thing.
Is that, we're very disappointed that it's taking Boeing so long to build a new Air Force One. We have an Air Force One that's 40 years old. And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent, stature at the time, it's not even the same ballgame. You look at some of the Arab countries and the planes they have parked alongside of the United States of America plane. It's like from a different planet. And it's close to 40 years old, might be more than 40 years old now. And we, when I first came in, I signed an order to get it built. I took it over from the Obama administration. They had originally agreed. I got the price down much lower. And then when the election didn't exactly work out the way that it should. The
rigged election of 2020.
A lot of work was not done on the plane because a lot of people didn't know. They made change orders that were so stupid, so ridiculous. And it ended up being a total mess, a real mess. And when I came back, I said, by the way, what's going on with the Boeings that are coming in? Well, sir, they're way behind. And they are. They're way behind. They were way behind. Another mess that I inherited from Biden. And it's going to be a while before we get them. And I think Qatar, who has really, we've helped them a lot over the years in terms of security and safety. I think they end very, very nicely. And I have a lot of respect for the leadership and for the leader, Qatar.
for the leader of the Qatar. Thank you for the $2 donation, Rocky Lucid. Good morning. Thank you for the $5 donation, Carl Schultz. Some money toward the coffee funds to help keep up the good fight. Thank you.
And I think they knew about it because they buy Boeings. They buy a lot of Boeings. And they knew about it. And they said, we would like to do something. And if we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one.
This motherfucker, this is the same guy who will say, in the same breath, he'll go, nothing's free, nothing's free. You know, like, there's no such thing as a free lunch. You ever heard that before, you MAGA fucking chuds? Do you think that Qatar just handed him a $400 million jet for no reason whatsoever? That there's no, even if it's not a written agreement, even if it's like, hey, will you just give us better treatment? How do you not register this? How does this not go through your fucking dumbass, thick-ass skulls? Thank you for another $2 donation from the Dream here for Luigi. I appreciate that.
Too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be...
Of course you wouldn't, bro. You're a fucking billionaire.
Stupid person say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture.
Sweet fucking Jesus Christ, dude. All right, so listen. You saw it with your own mouth. I mean, with your own eyes. You saw it with your own eyes. Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, Rand Paul, Insurrection Barbie. The right, especially the incredibly pro-Israel right? They are the ones who are tweaking out about this. This is like a bipartisan thing where people are like, not only is this fucking illegal and unconstitutional and the largest gift and it's clear bribery, but of all nations, it's Qatar. It's Qatar. You know what I'm saying? We just got a $35 donation. I don't know what money it is. It says Czar. As a white South African, I loved your video on the refugee bullshit. It's ridiculous. Enjoy some refugee money. Thank you, my fellow apartheid enjoyer. I'm totally fucking kidding. That's so insane of me. But anyway, listen, you're seeing it with your own mouth. MAGA's abandoning Trump on this issue because it's just like not only is it the most blatant form of corruption and bribery that I've ever seen from the White House, but it's from a nation that funds Hamas in the middle of this genocide that Israel is committing, that we in the United States Department of Defense is on the side of the genociders, Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. So it's fucking crazy. That's all I got for you. If you're live, you stay. We're going to keep going. If you're watching this pre-recorded, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, donate to me, become a patron, become a member, buy merch, use the discount code, and click that video over there. I promise you it's an absolute fucking banger. I'll catch you later.